Hi, everybody. My name is Grace Rosa, and I'm a holistic wellness consultant. I speak on all things related to the body, mind, and soul. And most especially, I speak about mindfulness. Mindfulness in terms of the way you think, the way you speak, the way you feel, the way you respond rather than react. We have many projects most of us are working on, not just one or two. Many of us are doing several at a time. And it would behoove us all to recognize the value that we can provide when we are satiated from within. When we're doing so much, we tend to forget that the most important person is us here to take care of ourselves. There's nobody else going to do it for us. So we need to take care of ourselves, and we need to come together as leaders to remind each other that that's what's needed. Maybe to be, somebody that can be there for somebody else to share how their day went, what they're going through, their frustrations, their successes, all of it. When we are helping others, many of us who are helpers tend to find it very difficult to accept help ourselves because we've been the ones that have been relied upon instead of relying on others. There's a difference between depending and relying. Reliance is what is needed in our society today, and that's what is being lost. Everybody's so busy thinking, oh, I've got my own stuff. Well, how does that fit with the rest of the world, with what you're doing? Because it all matters. What you do affects everything else around you. Think about a time when you've been angry, not at the person that you're speaking with, but maybe angry at a situation that you find you can't work on right now. So that colors your world. And it affects everybody around you, because when you speak to the next person, say they come up right when you're having these negative thoughts, you may not be quite as kind as you normally are, and maybe forgetful of the words that you're using with them. And then you've colored their world dark, and it affects that person as well. And on and on and on. Children, they pick up on it. If you're at home taking care of children and you've just gotten off the phone with a bill collector, you're going to be frustrated. And I'm not saying you're going to, be unkind to your child, but 9 times out of 10, that's going to be on your mind right then and there. And it will color that whole event with your child. So, a lot of us have forgotten the value of being human, the value of the other person in front of us. I'm not saying all of us, I'm saying a lot of us. I'm not perfect. I'm going to have bad days. Some days are better than others, let me put it that way. And I'm certain that you feel the same way as well. Nobody's perfect. And we also have to remember that perfection is sometimes something that might kill us, but it's also something that can be worth our while to focus on, because that's what makes us better. I am in the group that believes that there really isn't good or bad. There's no judgment, but all I know is what works for me, and that's what I would share with others. It might not work for you. We are all individuals. What works for me may not work for you. What works for you may not work for me. And that's the beauty of being autonomous, unique individuals that have our own experiences in life. But we also have to remember that the experiences in our life are the things that keep us limited into our world. Our world is small right now. We are in ourselves. We need to learn to step outside of the comfort zone to be able to listen intently and with curiosity about the things that we may or may not fully comprehend, And a lot of times when we don't comprehend something because it's not been our own experience, we tend to shut that down and our minds go closed. And then we become defensive, or we just are not interested anymore in what the other person is saying, when in fact, that person might be telling you something that might be worthwhile in your life to make that change in yourself, to realize that every individual person has a story to tell. And all we know is what we know now. How do we know what we don't know until we open our minds and our ears and our hearts to it? This is the foundation of becoming human again. It's to understand the value of the person in front of us. Why would we think that we're the ones that, don't have issues, Why is it that we feel like it's always the other person that might have an issue and not us? What if they're thinking that of us? It depends on the world that you're living in and where you're looking through, what you're looking at, from what perspective, what angle you're looking at. Facts do not make truth, folks. Facts can be manipulated, as it has been over hundreds of years now in the United States in particular, but globally and universally as well. What's lacking is the fact that we aren't recognizing, again, the value of the layperson. You might think that you're the expert at what you're doing, and you just very well may be. But there's always something to be learned. Because if you're saying that you know it all, then you just close the doors to potentiality of you knowing even more so. And maybe being able to connect with others even deeply, more deeply than you ever have. And if you don't connect in that way, then you're doing yourself and others a disservice. Something for you to consider when you start going out and doing your presentations or speaking with people that you're trying to help. Look at them. Look at them and see how beautiful they are and what they may have to offer. There's always something that they have to offer, always. All it is just an opportunity for us to open our eyes to see what it is that is so beautiful about that person in front of us. Each one of us has our own special gifts, Allow that to happen, allow it to transpire, allow that person to come into their selves, into their gifts, and share it with others. In order for them to do that, for us, we have to keep an open mind and to see that value in them. As a community leader myself, I try to stay as active in the community. I try to stay out there and share this message. What I implore all of you to do, if you haven't already, is to really consider maybe organizing events, groups even. It doesn't have to be anything formal. It can be informal, and just have, even starting off with a few close colleagues or acquaintances or friends of like minds. We're beyond trying to change anything anymore. It's the change won't happen because the foundation has been crumbling. And now it's time to make anew, which I know many of us are doing. I try to use the word try less and less, because we're either doing or we're not. And contemplating it is doing. And then following up with actions with those thoughts is doing. But too many people tend not to give value or place value in thoughts. Organizing thoughts here is a lot of work. You may not see a genius putting everything down on paper. Everything is here. But when they start talking, when they start doing, you can see their actions much more clearly than their thoughts. But what's in their thought is what they are doing in their lives. And what are you seeing in them? So I hope this helps. I hope this helps you in some way, shape, or form to start off your Monday with a beautiful thought on mindfulness and how that works for you. Everything about mindfulness is to uplift. It's never to tear down, ever, no matter what. And kindness definitely does not weakness. It does not mean we allow people to stomp on our value. Kindness does not mean weakness. So, happy Monday. If you'd like to learn more about what I do, you can go to my website at livingwithgrace.net, N-E-T, and see all of the services that I provide. There's so much more there. I'm still updating my website, so thank you for your patience. And I hope to talk with you soon. Please feel free to reach out to me. I'm on LinkedIn, on Facebook, and Instagram. I'm much more active on Facebook and LinkedIn. Twitter I've got, but it's just not for me, really. It's a lot of toxicity there for me. And I try to stay clear of that anymore now. One more thing I'd like to share with you. The people that are hardest to like, much less hardest to love, are the people that need your kindness the most. Can you imagine what they must have gone through to be feeling the way and acting the way they are? Those are the ones that are still needing to receive from you all that you have to offer in kindness and in love. I know this is something that we weren't taught in school, to mix our heart with our business, but it works. It works. It's something that needs to be done. If you look back in the past, even doctors back in the day, they provided services to the community with free house calls. It wasn't about the money. And, capitalism works, but it can't be all about the money. We've lost our way, folks. It's time to do something totally different. It's time to make a whole new platform and to allow things to transpire as they're supposed to be. Our founding fathers did not foresee what we're going through today. They had very little idea of it, really. They put all these beautiful life jackets around, but nobody's using it because nobody knows where they are anymore. So, anyways, more things for you to think about. I hope these things are inspiring you to continue to do your work. Each one of us, again, has our gifts. Each one of us has a beautiful vision, but it can't be about just money. Allow your heart to lead, and the money will follow. This is the thing that is going to be a paradigm shifter for leaders today. This is where we're headed. Whether or not our society recognizes it, it's there already. We just have to be mindful of those that are still not ready to receive this message and continue to treat them with much respect and to be able to stand strong in our own ways of living and thinking and breathing and sharing your truth. Sharing your truth, being inspirational and kind. What we think is a distraction in our day is life itself. So remember, color your world in the beautiful colors that you would like to see on you and to see it expounded upon others, expressed upon others as well. Continue to be the light, and God bless you.